welcome to Afternoons with Amanda. I'm so happy to see your face. I hope you're having a great day. I wanted to check in because I have been hearing over and over again from people in my life, challengers, just people I've been talking to, that they are dealing with all of these fears that are stopping them from making positive choices in their lives, whether it's a fear of starting something new and starting a new job, a fear of whether they're going to be alone for the rest of their life, a fear of taking a small step towards making a positive change. And I just wanted to talk to you guys about this because I don't deal with fear in the way that a lot of people do. I feel like I've always been more or less fearless when it comes to pursuing things in my life. I have a very strong passion for living the life of my dreams, and because of that, I make changes and choices that allow myself to do that. But the one thing that I was super slow about making a change at was my career. I've been acting for so long, and I love doing it, but during the day, I was doing things that made me really miserable and weren't filling me up inside. And it took me so long to think that it was okay to make a change and make a step forward. And I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about what I've learned in my research on fear. I've been doing kind of a lot of digging into that, and maybe this will help clarify some things for you and help you make positive changes in your life like it has for me. So fear isn't real. Fear is something that we place upon ourselves and make up stories so that we basically don't allow ourselves to move forward. It's not real. It is not a thing. Yes, I think fear is the closest thing to insanity, because by focusing on what you're fearful of, you just go over and over in this negative space, which is the definition of insanity, right? Repetition over negative things. And instead, there are ways of overcoming these things. And I feel like there's some really big sections of fear that I've been hearing about lately that I wanted to address. So the first one that I feel like I hear over and over again is how I'm fearful of losing something, whether it's the person I love or a job or that security attached to that job. So instead of focusing on what you might lose through that experience, let's talk about like a job, for instance, in this scenario, okay? So if I were to leave my job and start doing something that I love, that I'm passionate about, I would lose job security. I would lose pension potentially. But what would you gain, right? Would you gain that freedom that you've always been wanting? Would you gain a positive light that lives within you? Would you gain freedom? Instead of focusing on what you would lose and focusing on the things that are making you stay in something you're unhappy with, why not focus on what you would gain, right? And that way you can move forward and cut that fucking fear away. Other thing that I feel like I hear over and over again, especially in my challenge groups that I run, is fear of the process and of change, right? We like to stay in a safe place, stay with what's comfortable, and ultimately, like doing something that's different and changing up your pace, especially when it comes to your health and fitness, is hard. Like, it takes a lot of work, and it's hard, and it's scary, and you don't know, like, you're scared that it's not going to happen, that the changes you want to see aren't going to take place. But instead of focusing on what the changes and what the process is and what's not going to happen if I can't accomplish this, why not focus on, okay, well, what would I feel if I did do these things? If I did lose that last 10 pounds, would I feel strong? Would I feel free? If I could stop having a negative relationship with food and constantly eating my emotions, would that make me feel like I'm in control? instead of focusing on the negative aspects and your fears around something that you might want to do to better your life, why not focus on what it would give you and you'd gain from it, right? Focus on the feeling instead of the fear, okay? And number 3, I feel like so often people are focused on what the outcome of a certain situation could be, like like losing a job, right? Well, fear of what's going to happen after that, or fear of taking on a new opportunity. And I hear this one over and over again, especially when it comes to coaching. It's like, well, I'm scared of taking the leap because I what if I fail? What if I'm not good at it? And instead of focusing on that, you're never gonna know if you're good at something until you friggin' try it. And focus on the positives. Focus on the positives instead of focusing on what might go wrong or what might not work or what might suck, right? Instead of putting your entire focus on that, focus on what could go amazing, how it could change your life, what it might do for your personal growth and your personal health and wellness. Whatever the situation is, I think that if we start focusing more on what we could get from something, instead of focusing on our fears in the situation and running those things and those situations, those potential scenarios over and over and over in our brains, I think that it will allow us to live a way more positive life, a life where we're able to really accept what is coming into our lives and take opportunities that are there, and live fully in the present moment. Stop thinking about your past. Use your past because you've learned from your past, but stop living there and stop living for the potential future. Live in the moment and seek this out. And I say this with a grain of salt because I have not always been this way. Like, I used to be sucked into the past and I'd be terrified about the future. But if there's anything I've learned in the last 6 months, and I've learned so much, but the biggest thing I've learned is that letting your fears control you is the biggest disservice you can do. So please, 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 from the bottom of my heart, start trying to shift that perspective in your brain. And instead of living according to your fears, live according to your dreams. And it may not always pan out in the way that you imagined, but I promise you, you will learn something so beautiful from the process, and it will lead you to a path that is more enlightened and more filled with joy, and that surrounds you with positive energy, instead of focusing on the negative. So that's my tidbit for the day. I hope that was helpful and that you enjoyed it. If you found any light bulb moments, I would love, love, love to hear from you. You can post your comments below or shoot me a message on my email. It's Amanda, Catherine with a K, Loy@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you guys, and something I'm really passionate about. So I hope that it's given you a little insight in your day and that you have a great rest of yours. Bye.